Your audio is off. I think that you need to activate.
How about now? Test one,
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
If it's, I don't know why it keeps cutting off because I'm not touching anything, but
Okay.
let me know if it goes off again because
Of course.
I'm not looking down at that. But what I was saying is, welcome, my beautiful people, to STR News and Digest, your go-to place for everything related to short-term rental and the business of hospitality. Today, I got a couple things I want to talk about, and I'm going to continue hammering this. The first story I want to talk about is Airbnb continues to try to become that super app that they've been striving for now for at least a year. If you are not aware, they have teamed up with a company called Car Trailer, something like that. It's a European company, and what it is basically a car rental company, right? And it is right now, the platform is live in 5 countries, including the United States. And what travelers can do is when you book your short-term rental, you also have the ability to book a car, and it's that car trailer app. It's teamed up with Avis, Hertz, Budget, and Enterprise. And here's what's really unique about it, right? When you book an Airbnb and you use this app, you're going to get points or credits for your car rental, and we're going to talk more about loyalty programs because that's becoming huge in the travel industry. But this is big, and it's not simply adding car rentals. As I mentioned before, Airbnb wants to control the customer experience, more importantly, the customer itself. And I'm going to touch on that in a little bit during this episode. But and I'm going to recap of some of the stuff that they recently have launched in order to continue to provide their guests continuous service and be a super app, right? And control the entire customer process. If you're not aware, and I'm going to repeat what I've said 1,000 times, but now they've launched services, which allows you to book things like barbers, hairstylists, nail techs, massage therapists, chefs. All that can be now booked through the Airbnb app. In addition to that, they relaunched and expanded their experience app. So you can book tours, excursions, etc. through that. And before this edition, they also had what's called airport transportation, where you can have, instead of going to Uber, you can have through the Airbnb app, through your reservation, book a airport pickup and drop off. It's as I mentioned before, they want to be a super app, and they want to have the entire travel ecosystem within their app. Huge. If you're a short-term rental operator, you should be paying attention what they are doing. Granted, you probably don't have the marketing dollars that they have, but you have the ability to do the same through your own direct booking website. How? For example, through our direct booking website, people can book excursions. Why? Because we partner up with the largest excursion and tours, etc. app that there is, which is Avatar, right? Viator. I'm sorry, Viator. We're a partner of Avatar, so we can create our own custom tours and excursions based on the actual property. So to give you an example, if you book my Fort Lauderdale property, it's going to have a customized tab to book, like, for example, the water taxi, extremely popular in Fort Lauderdale. The Jungle Queen, that's been around for decades. You can book that. Everything that's unique to Fort Lauderdale, you'll find in one tap. Instead of going to Viator and try to search specific things that you're looking for, we're going to have that to you because it caters to your specific short-term rental. What's in that area? If you book my property in Miami, it's going to have a different set of excursions. If you book my property in West Palm, different set of excursions. But the point is, it's going to be customized for the actual traveler. So that's just one example of the stuff that we do that you should be following suit. And again, I said this before, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just copy what the big brands are doing. This is one example. This is why that matters to you. Next is we're going to talk about the next story I want to talk about is, I don't know if you guys heard the acronym BNPL. If you haven't, you're going to get very familiar with it because a lot of companies are using this, and basically buy now, pay later, right? Not a big, as a financial person, as a person that looks to keep my money and make money, this is not a way to do it, right? But it is extremely popular and it has arrived in the travel industry. You've already seen buy now, pay later on a lot of different retail stores. You see it on Amazon now. You see it in a lot of different places, but it has arrived in the travel industry. And there's a company called Clarity Pay, and they recently partnered with JetBlue, and they launched their own buy now, pay later financial platform, which combines flexibility pay or payments with loyalty, rewards, and personalization. I want you guys to really pay attention to this. Every company is following suit with the fact of controlling the customer service and providing a flexible, customized, and personalized experience for that customer. JetBlue is doing that now with something that's becoming extremely popular because things are expensive now, but yet people still want to travel. And it's the buy now, pay later concept, right? And the beauty about it with JetBlue is that you still get the loyalty points when you do it, right? And here's what they wrote: instead of simply financing the trip, the goal is to increase the customer engagement while driving more repeat business. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to read that again because I need you guys to fully understand the importance of this. JetBlue, like tons of other companies, they want to do the following. They want to increase customer engagement. Why? Because that helps with their customer satisfaction, and they want to drive repeat business. As I said before, customer acquisition is the most important component of any business. And then once you have that customer, keeping that customer is the second most important part of a business, right? And as I said before, buy now, pay later is old news for retail companies, but it is new in the travel industry. Why buy now, pay later works? And think about it, right? Instead of paying $2,500 today when you book, let's say, for example, a cruise, just to use that as an example, a family can spread that payment over several months. Now, there's a smart way to do it, and there's a not so smart way to do it, right? A lot of these financial platforms or these buy now, pay later platforms gives you several options on how to pay it back. You can do it in between 3 and 4 to 6 payments with no interest, or you can extend it for 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months. Now, the free, meaning where you're not paying any interest, is the one if you pay within 6 months. Now, again, depends. Sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's 6 months. But within 6 months, if you pay it, then you don't pay any interest. That's a smart way to do it, right? If you don't want to shell out $2,500 right off the bat, and you're planning for a trip that's down the road, yeah, it's a good idea it can be a good idea to use this if you're not paying interest. But what's not a good idea is if you're going to make it more expensive by paying interest, right? I said this before. It doesn't pay, today's day and age, it doesn't pay to book really far in advance because you're not making any savings when you do that. You'll save when you follow the tips that I've mentioned many times before, right? By traveling during the weekday, by traveling in the off-peak season, or what's referred to as the shoulder season, right? By traveling to areas that are not high tourist areas, like, for example, Madrid, Barcelona, Miami, New York City. By not staying in those major tourist areas, now you may want to still visit them, but stay someplace a little further out and either take the bus, take the train, or if you're going to rent a car, if you're going to do like I do, get a bike and then ride to those locations because you're going to save big money. So again, when you buy it though, when you really save is if you buy anything within, I say 3 to 4 months of your travel time, you can probably find deals at that point as well. Doesn't pay to buy last minute tickets for the most part, because I have found some great deals for that. And it doesn't pay to buy a year in advance. That doesn't work either. So, but this is an option. That's why it works. But here's the biggest story here, right? The financing itself isn't the actual big stories I just mentioned. The biggest story is who controls the financial relationship. Again, control, right? Because whoever controls the financial relationship controls the customer. This is why JetBlue is not, or JetBlue teamed up. They didn't just allow Clarity Pay to advertise on their platform. No, they became a partner with them. Why? Because they don't want Clarity Pay to have control of you. They want JetBlue to have control of you. So again, it's who controls the customer. So you're going to see this more and more because again, there's companies. I'm going to give you an example of a company that I have used in the past. Is a company called Affirm. Affirm allows you to buy big ticket items, and they give you that payment plan. But you are an Affirm customer. Let's say, for example, like one of the purchases that I did with Affirm was a no interest 6-month payment plan for a motorcycle. I wasn't Suzuki's customer. I was Affirm's customer. I bought a Suzuki, but all my information went to Affirm. So just keep that in mind, right? And JetBlue is doing the smart thing here by entering into a financial system that has become very popular, but still controlling the customer itself. And again, I'm going to transition to the main reason why they're doing this: control of the customer relationship. Let me see. Oh, let me give you some examples here, right? Let's compare two businesses. Business A gets all their booking from Airbnb. Business B gets half of their bookings directly. This is if you're a host. This is why it's important, right? Which business? So let me, because I don't know if I said that correctly. You are an Airbnb host. You're going to tell me, put in the comments, who you think will have longer longevity in the business. If A, you get all your bookings through Airbnb, or B, you get your bookings through your direct booking website. And the answer better be clear to you, and it's B, right? Every single time someone books directly with you, that gap of your revenue coming more from your direct booking website than through OTAs, you, my friend, have a solid business and a business that's sustainable. If that's not the case, you do not currently have a sustainable business, because anything can happen to your Airbnb account, right? Or if you're relying on verbal, or if you're relying on booking, anything can happen to those accounts, and then you're going to be in deep, deep trouble. Also, this is another thing to keep in mind. When you control that customer and that customer is coming to you for the booking, you're also increasing your profit margins. Why? Because you're not paying OTA fees. And because you control that customer, you're going to have the most important component, which we know is the customer acquisition. But the second most component of that I mentioned earlier is that repeat customer and holding on to that customer for a long time. That's huge, people. I'm going to give you three other reasons, three other reasons, or maybe more. Let me go through them. Reasons why you want to control that customer. One is going to be for better marketing purposes. When you know the customer, when you have that customer's information, for example, their date of birth, you can send them a happy birthday card or a happy birthday message, right? Keep you in that customer's front of mind. Be front of mind in that customer. If the more information, the more data you have from that customer, the better you can market to that customer, especially if you know what they booked in the past. Let's say they booked a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and let's say they tell you, they're a family of 5. You can offer either that same house or similar house that can easily accommodate a family of 5. Becomes a better marketing tool. 4, upsells, right? Upsell opportunities. You're going to have the ability to increase profit margins and increase your revenue streams by providing that guest some upsells opportunities. Again, I talked about Viator, right? But you can also team up or become an affiliate with a rental car company, right? I make a lot of money on affiliate marketing, especially on my other channel, right? I have learned how important it is to have or to utilize affiliate marketing. Every company's using it now, right? You can tap into that, right? Through affiliate marketing. Plus, you can offer things like early check-in, late checkouts, rental equipment like bike rentals, like we do, right? Travel insurance. When someone books my property, they have 2 options: either leave a security deposit, or pay a waiver. So you don't leave that security deposit, and the waiver covers you, right? Those are the 2 options. But it's a revenue source for me, especially if they decide to do the waiver. Next, and this is big, right, is when you control that customer, you can build your brand even more, because you have the ability to continually market to that person and becomes brand recognition. And here's some practical advice on that. So here are 5 things every property manager or short-term rental operator should do. Number 1, create your own website. I've said this a million times. 2, collect guest emails, right? And if you can collect everybody's emails in the house, even better. 3, select or create a monthly newsletter, right? But make that newsletter, don't make it salesy. And this is important. Add value, right? Don't make it so that you're constantly trying to, what I refer to as, spam your customers. No, add a newsletter that provides value by giving them travel tips, give them suggestions, give them updates on what's happening in the market. Educate your customer. That, my friend, helps. Here's an additional very important component. I've said this before. You need to have a social media presence. You need very important. I'm going to answer some of these questions. Some of you guys on here, just don't forget. I won't forget. You need to, and I lost my train of thought where I was, but on your newsletter, right? You need to have social media presence, and not just social media, but YouTube, right? Add links to your YouTube channel and your social media in your newsletter, and add what I refer to as teasers, so that if they want to learn more, they can click on it, right? Increasing your social media is also it's just as important as that newsletter, right? Because it's also going to create a relationship with your customer when you do that. Let me see what else I'm going to talk to. The last thing I'm going to talk about is remind all of you that are watching, if you're a short-term rental operator, if you are a property manager, or you're looking to get into this industry and you're looking for help, we are available, right? I said this a million times. I don't really consider myself a property manager per se. I consider our company a marketing company, a marketing company that manages properties. As a short-term rental operator, that's what you need, right? Property managers are great, especially if you have a long-term tenant. They can handle that. But most short-term rental operators or management companies come with that mindset that their job is just to manage your property. That cannot be further from the truth in this world, right? In the STR world, what you need is marketing. And here's what happens. You hire a management company. They're going to tell you that you need marketing. Then you're going to have to hire a marketing company to market your property. That's not what we do. We market your property. That's our goal number one, right? To get your property filled. And as a cherry on the top, we also manage the day-to-day operations for you to free up your time. Hugely important. This is my final thoughts here, right? Airbnb is expanding entering into every part of travel. We did that, I think now 2 years ago, right? We have a travel agency. We went into marketing. We went deep into every aspect of travel. Why? Because we want to control that customer experience, just like they're trying to do. And technology continues to change. It changes every day. We've added AI. It's been 2 years that we started using AI, and we're still expanding AI. And people do business with companies they know and trust. Hence, that social media presence. Hence, why you want to control that customer relationship, and hence why you want to have that newsletter, so you can continue to build on that trust, right? So that's going to be it for today, my beautiful people. Let me see if how can you customize the guest experience in Airbnb? There lies the problem. You don't own that Airbnb customer. Now, when they come to you, this is what we do to try to get that Airbnb experience. Start controlling that guest to a certain extent, right? We require our guests to register. Just like if somebody went to a hotel, you have to register with the front desk. We have a front desk, right? A virtual front desk. So people need to provide their identification to identify that who's coming is who they say they are. And in that process, requesting phone numbers and emails is part of that process. That's how initially we won't have control of that guest, because again, that guest is an Airbnb guest. But that's how we control that guest after the book. All right. Any other question? Airbnb provides a level of protection if a guest causes damages or refuses to leave after their stay. When a guest books directly with you, how do you handle these situations and protect yourself? Okay, Airbnb, because that's a misconception. Let me address your first part of the question. Airbnb does not provide protection when someone doesn't want to leave. I've had it happen. Airbnb is going to call you and tell you, you need to handle it. You need to call the police. They are not going to take control of that situation. So take that ahead. Airbnb does not protect you with that, right? Now, they do provide you a insurance for if somebody damages your property. But the hoops you need to overcome to get paid is crazy long, crazy complicated, and they're going to fight you tooth and nail. This is why we require a security deposit, right? We don't rely on Airbnb. We get a security deposit. My property is already insured. So if there's any damages, I'll take care of it myself. I don't need Airbnb, and you shouldn't either. I'm going to give you an example. We had a guest that not only refused to leave, and we have to call the police and get him out. But that guest, because we called the police and tried to get him out, and I did a video. It's been about 4 years now. But that guest, because we made the mistake to tell them we're calling the police, they went and luckily they didn't have time to destroy the entire house, but they took every spice and ketchup and mustard that we had in the refrigerator and sprayed it all over the house. They put pepper and within the beds, the sheets, all that stuff. And you know what? Airbnb did not cover that. We sent them videos, and you know what they said? No, you got a cleaning fee for that. The cleaning fee didn't cover that. We had to pay extra for that. They didn't cover that. And then they refused to pay because they said that was part of the cleaning fee. That's how ridiculous Airbnb is. So you're not protected. So again, if they book direct, you get a security deposit. You have access to their credit card, which is even more important, right? And you should also be insured, right? And then you're covered. All right, next question. From Facebook, Airbnb and Booking are huge platforms. How do you convince guests to book direct with you instead of using these sites? Marketing. That's the whole concept, right? Marketing. And people will book if they know and trust you. Plus, they're going to save more money when they book direct. There are people that are loyal to Airbnb. You're not going to change those people's mind, but you don't need to, right? There's a lot, especially I mentioned this before. Gen Z is right now where the opportunity in travel is, and Gen Z is not loyal to any brand. If they can save money and if you can provide a better guest experience, you want Gen Z travelers, right? So that's how you take care of that. Anything else? All right, not seeing anything else. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, if you're watching this on replay, leave a question or a comment in the comment section down below. I will, if it's something that I haven't addressed, I will address it during next Wednesday's live. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Imagine a vacation where every detail is tailored just for you. That's the Dream Vacations and Rentals by PMI difference. We're not just another rental company. We're your personal vacation curators focused on you, our guest. From hand-picked properties to curated local experiences, we craft personalized journeys. Our marketing reaches you with the perfect options, matching your unique travel style. With Dream Vacations and Rentals by PMI, your perfect getaway is just a click away. Visit our website to book your dream vacation today and experience the PMI difference.